Hello everyone, and welcome to the only game ever played, as far as we know, between Bill Gates and Magnus Carlsen. Yesterday was a rest day at the Tata Steel, so I decided to show something shorter, something a bit more interesting, as we are going to have some very exhausting games today. So it's a game that took place in 2014 on the show of the host Skavlan. So Skavlan is a Norwegian-Swedish television talk show hosted by Norwegian journalist Fredrik Skavlan. And in the show, they asked Bill Gates if he's okay playing against Magnus Carlsen. I will put a link to it in the description below. It's some 18-minute clip if you want to check it out. Bill Gates talks a lot about his ventures, about his philanthropy and whatnot. And then at the end of that, they play a game of chess. And when they ask Magnus how will they play, will there be clocks, what will be the time control, Magnus said, I will have 30 seconds and you can have all the time you want, so he doesn't really care. And in the end, they agreed that Magnus will have 30 seconds and Bill Gates will have 2 minutes on the clock. Now, I've always known of this game, but I only today realized that I have no idea how the game goes and that I don't even know the moves. So without further ado, let's check out this game. So Bill Gates with the white pieces opens with e4, and we even have a nice image of this moment, so let's check that out. There you have it. That's the setting of the talk show. Bill Gates placed his pawn on e4, and now the game starts. Magnus replies with knight to c6, and one thing Magnus also needs to take into consideration is that he only has 30 seconds on the clock, so it doesn't matter if you get a good position if you're not going to have enough time on the clock to finish the game. And if you play on your PC and you use a mouse, 30 seconds, also known as hyperbullet, can be plenty of time. If you've ever seen the Penguin or Andrew Tang play Bullet, you know that 30 seconds is enough for him to finish like 10 games. But in actual over-the-board chess, it takes you time to pick up the piece, put the piece down, hit the clock, so you will lose at least 1 second on the move, unless you're like super fast. So here, knight to c6. Magnus goes for the Nimzovich defense. We have knight f3 by Gates. And now Magnus goes d5. Immediately strikes in the center. And when he played d5, he knocked over Bill's e4 pawn. And then he lost a few seconds rearranging the board. But, you know, what are you going to do? We have bishop to d3. Now, he could capture or he could advance the pawn. He could also defend it, not all that great. He decides to do it with bishop to d3. So very, very interesting approach. We have knight to f6 with a double attack on the pawn, and only now he captures. We have captures, and here knight to c3. So developing with tempo, you can see that Bill Gates knows what he's doing. Pushes back the black queen, and Magnus goes queen to h5. So what do you do here? Bill Gates castles, and Magnus develops by pinning the knight. So bishop to g4, and you can see that a lot of things are starting to happen here on the king side. Gates should be very careful about what he's doing. Bishop to e2 might be a nice safe move, making room for the d-pawn. He decides to challenge Carlsen's bishop with h3, and here, like I said, Magnus is very low on time. Not very low, he started with 30 seconds, he's down to some maybe 23 seconds up to this point. And now he needs to decide what to do with the bishop. Of course, if this was a normal game, you would capture, and after captures, you will have ruined white's pawn structure, you have a better position, you will eventually probably win this game. But Magnus cannot afford to go into some sort of a slow game, he needs to go for checkmate. So he goes knight to e5. He decides to sacrifice the bishop here, and it's not the greatest of moves, but it is the greatest of moves for the occasion. So Bill Gates boldly captures the bishop, h captures on g4, and this is in fact the strongest move recommended by the engine. So it's not some sort of a silly piece grab. We have knight f captures on g4 by Magnus, and now we have this position where Magnus has a lot of pieces in front of the white king, and white should be very careful. One thing that you have to realize is that if this knight moves or is captured, queen here will be checkmate. So one move that comes to mind is rook to e1. With rook to e1, Bill Gates gets enough for a winning advantage. Of course, that's easier said than done when you have... he also has... only 2 minutes from the start of the game, and he is playing the world champion. As this is 2014, Magnus is already world champion. And here, even if you go for captures, and queen h2 check, you will not be delivering checkmate, because now you have king to f1. And after queen h1 check, King to e2, there's nowhere for the black queen to go. The queen is under attack, and also the knight is under attack. And even if you guard it, let's say you play something like this, you allow bishop to b5 check, and then it's just game over. For example, if c6, you can just capture this, captures with check, king d8, captures with check. Again, just f3, keeping the white king safe, and the white is up too much material. Of course, white will be completely winning here. However, after this knight f to g4 move, Bill Gates did not play rook to e1 or some safe move bishop to b5 check. He in fact just grabbed the knight. Knight captures on e5, and he missed the simplest of ideas, which is of course queen to h2 checkmate. This is what Magnus played, and he stopped the time at this exact same moment. And in the end, Bill Gates had a minute and 10 seconds on the clock, whereas Magnus Carlsen had some 18 seconds on the clock. He delivered checkmate on 20 seconds, and then when he paused the clock, it was like 18 seconds. So Bill Gates played a great game here, if anyone was interested. He just missed a crucial move at a crucial point, as I think he also got super nervous, and he just couldn't think straight. But even before the game started, he said that he was much more of a Go player than a chess player. So very interesting. I don't know if any of you are into Go, maybe you know of some Bill Gates Go games. But yeah, that's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I've always known about this game, but I've never actually seen it. I've always been like, yeah, everyone knows of this game. But then today I realized I don't know of this game. So if any of you didn't know of this game also, there you have it. This is what happened when Magnus faced Bill Gates. And like I said, 1 week prior to this, he faced Mark Zuckerberg, but we do not have moves to this game, or maybe they say it was a game, but maybe it was more of a lesson. So I don't know if any of you guys can check, can spot moves of those games, maybe even share it so we can show that one as well. But yeah, that's basically it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will put a link in the description below to the entire live footage of this game, so if you want to check that out as well. I would like to thank Joshua Hampson, Kasra Tabatabey, Yasmin Hadrovic, Moti Markovic, and Scott Rooks for a contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon. Continuing the coverage of the Tata Steel, checking up on your wonderful suggestions, and whatever else happens in the chess world. So thank you all. I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day.